you want to continue to be a person of influence, like you said about the people that you listen to, you got to keep on raising the lid for yourself. Like you got to continue to learn and fill up so you can give away.
Yeah.
I think that's like, you gotta have that, man, if you want to be a person of influence. So be fit, be sharp. Third would be engaged. So this one's really interesting. So it says in Daniel chapter 1 that Daniel and the guys who were taken captive, they were well versed in Babylonian literature and language, which if you can break that down, language is obviously the words being used. Like, how do people talk, right? We're in this place right now where I've been building my coaching business around personal branding and content creation and digital marketing and like all that world. And we were really using language a lot that was like very Christianese and churchy. And we were attracting people that language attracts, and they're great. And we want to serve them. But we know that God's expanding our reach and is saying, hey, I want you to actually bring value, not just to the church, but to people in the world. Because when you do, it actually, like Daniel, it positions you in front of people that otherwise you wouldn't be able to share the gospel with them because you don't have anything of value to give them.
Yeah.
Some of these people that you want to reach that are actually going to really change the culture, like very quickly because they have influence, they're not going to give you the time of day unless you actually have something of value for them. They're too busy. The King Nebuchadnezzar, he didn't really give, he had Daniel in the room, but it was because Daniel and his homies were 10 times more competent than everybody else. That's when the king said, okay, I need this guy to come and help interpret this dream because he's got a good reputation, right? And then that's where he interpreted the dream, created this incredible bridge for him to say, hey, it wasn't actually me who interpreted the dream, it was God. And God wanted you to know what was in your heart. That's why.
That's it right there.
Isn't that crazy?
That's it right there. And I think it's very quick that God will, it doesn't matter how much we can talk all about developing yourself, developing your skill set, growing in communication, solving problems for people, all that stuff. But if you're not willing to give the glory to whose it rightfully is and say, hey, I've done my work, I've studied, I've learned, but dude, it's only because of God that I'm in this room, that I have these opportunities. All the glory and honor goes to him. I think it's very quick that you can get, pulled right out of those opportunities, pulled right off of those, real or online stages, whatever it may be, because I think that's what it says. The Bible talks about like, humble yourself and I will lift you up, right? But again, I love that idea. We've talked about it many times as well of this. I love that God wants to co-labor with us, that I do think a lot of people struggle with sitting back and just waiting for things to fall in their lap. And I'm not saying that God can't totally provide opportunities, that maybe you didn't do all this stuff to get there. Like there is a bit of that push and pull, mix and match with it. But I do believe God wants to co-labor with us. He's going to provide these things. But again, I love that that analogy of you, right? Your son Brave. I'm sure you want to provide him a car when he turns 16 and he can actually handle it and drive it. But if he came to you right now and was like, Dad, I want a car, you'd be like, buddy, you're 10 years old?
Yep.
8 years old, It's like you're not ready for it. It's
the right promotion in the wrong season.
Yeah.
Which we're going to get to. So hold your horses.
So good.
But the idea of speaking the language of the people that you're called to reach that's the level of influence. That creates influence. Just very practically, like if you wanted to go and be a missionary in China, you didn't learn the language of the people in China, you're not going to have any influence with them.
Yeah.
You just can't connect. So, but that's not just like geographically, it's also culturally. It's also like, hey, how do people talk in New York versus Louisiana? Very different, right? Different values. And then the literature is quite literally the content.
Yeah.
So for me, that's one of the interesting things about, and this is going to connect because I'm going to talk about what God really did in my heart a few weeks ago with the whole Charlie Kirk assassination. Because this is the first time where I got to kind of share on this podcast. I had Sergio on before, and we talked about it a little bit, but I'm going to go deeper into why I think that was so important for me personally. What was I saying? Oh, but that's like for me, I really wanted to run away from engaging with all the stuff going on in the world and news and culture. It's like, oh, dude, like just annoying. It's just annoying. Like I prefer just read my Bible, build my business. That's great. That's my life. I would be happy to do that. But when you see how Daniel and his homies, they didn't turn away from Babylonian literature. They actually embraced it.
Yeah.
They were in the culture. Like that's kind of a dangerous place to be, because that can begin to, if you don't filter everything through the word, that can begin to influence you versus the other way around.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it's like being in the world, but not of it.
Exactly.
Like how in the world are you really though?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you can, I think, I don't know, man. And different people are going to have different levels of tolerance for that. But I'm saying like, if the more you're willing to stick your face in that fire, the more influence you can have if you don't let it burn you, which is, it's just tough. And then the fourth one, so that's be engaged. The fourth one's be competent. You got to be skilled. You got to work hard. If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch another video like it, you can just click right over here. Or if you want to see my other channel, Directed Life, full length interviews and really deep conversations, you can click over here.